Hi, my name is Joni, holistic health teacher, coach, and consultant. My intention here is to share my work with anyone seeking guidance toward better whole health at this time, and to keep it fun. Our health is truly our wealth, so if you'd like to see more videos about holistic health, be sure to subscribe down below. Today we're talking about social life, community, and connection. This next realm of holistic health we're covering is super important, especially during this time when so much connection on planet Earth has been completely dismantled. From restaurants to gyms to dance clubs to yoga classes to festivals, these places where we see each other's faces and expressions, have heartfelt conversations, and the best of times, they've obviously been paused. And while Zoom is certainly not the same, I'm grateful for platforms like this one to connect with you in the meantime. Today, here on YouTube. Even the most introverted of humans are still social creatures. We thrive on a smile from a stranger, a knowing and understanding glance, a hand on our back, and hugs. These all increase feel-good chemicals in our bodies and brains, lending to overall well-being. Dr. Lissa Rankin shares in the first publishing of her book, Mind Over Medicine, that Marin County, one of the wealthiest counties in the U.S., where for the most part they have every opportunity to be the most healthy and happy, they've actually experienced immensely high rates of anxiety, depression, disease, and overall dis-ease. When they were compared to an indigenous community in South America, where smoking tobacco, for example, is one of their cultural practices, Marin paled in comparison regarding overall health. Now, why would this be? It turns out because of their tribal organization gathering together for food, worship, and dance, this translated to a lot more health and happiness than uber-wealthy Marin County, which, if you're not familiar, sits just north of San Francisco, California. In Marin, there's no shortage of consuming copious amounts of green juice, kale, yoga classes, but there were actually higher percentages of people experiencing illness, which also being highly medicated on antidepressant and anti-anxiety meds. How does this even happen in a place like Marin, right? Much of this contributed to lack of emotional support, gathering, and true community. And as we've become busy on this YouTube channel getting to know ourselves, we can start to notice how much we want or need in our social lives and whether our social life is in balance overall. This will involve becoming brutally honest with ourselves in order to decipher what is true versus where needing to, say, constantly have companionship is actually numbing, avoiding, and checking out. For example, I have several friends who, like myself, can be quite extroverted, but in order to do so, we really need time alone to rest, reset, and re-energize in order to be able to go out again and do it all over again, right? Personally, my mornings have been sacred, and while I've been highly criticized for owning them, I literally do not even care anymore. After recent years of giving that time away in many ways, I've taken it back. And if the people around you are healthy, balanced, and self-regulated, they will understand. It's important to keep your boundaries around your needs because, hey, we're just trying to take care of ourselves first, right? So that we can take care of those in our immediate circles. This is very different from self-serving behavior, so be sure to learn to decipher between the two. Perhaps that will be a future topic here on the channel, but I digress a little bit. But on the other hand, some folks might be super outgoing and really genuinely thrive off of the energy of other people, needing not nearly as much solo time. While another segment of people may naturally be quite introverted and prefer more time alone, and when they do go out, they prefer much more quiet, intimate, and super reserved social settings. All of that being said, here comes the truth bomb. We must take some time to notice whether we always need to be with someone. This includes energetically, because in actuality, we're avoiding being on our own, alone, single, self-responsible, or in quiet time with our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Or on the opposite end, being alone most of the time can also be equally out of balance and in complete avoidance of having to put ourselves out there amongst people where we might be triggered or upset in any way, essentially avoiding conflict. Unfortunately, we can't do life or relationships without conflict. So across the board, we all lean one direction or another, which is perfectly natural. We now just need to zoom in and pay attention so that we can notice how we might be getting in our own way. If we don't get to the root, our truths, we'll never be able to claim our own agency and therefore what we truly need and desire. So we can begin by noticing some of the following. Noticing whether we feel drained or super energized after socializing. Noticing whether that drain or energy is after socializing in general or with specific people. Noticing whether we can't stand to be alone and feel like we're coming out of our skin if we aren't constantly with other people, gaining constant attention and support from others, which very much includes energetically, another topic we'll cover later, and it's also very much, including social media. Noticing whether we'd rather be alone almost all of the time because it's too hard or just too much to be around others would be another example of what we need to take notice of. Within all of this, there are many places on the spectrum, and there is no judgment around any of it. This is first about simply noticing. The social life and relationship houses can both offer clues as to where we might not be expressive enough to maintain solid, grounded, and clear communication, or where we might be hiding in the shadows of others, yet simultaneously sad about not being seen and heard, not voicing for ourselves any of that stuff, or just avoiding life out there. Or on the opposite end again, where we might be over talkative, over excited, over happy, good times guy, Pollyanna positive, or the social butterfly, yet not ever really able to reel it in and equally hold space for others. Just take notice. Tracking back to community, it's also important to note that different people do community in different ways too. One person might flourish working in local community all day, every day, which also translates toward their social circles, who they hang out with outside of work, whether it's their coworkers or not. Another's community might look like working in collaboration with many different people in many different locations, even all over the world. Yet regularly attending small, intimate dinners with friends in their hometown, balanced by also going out to a club or dancing or attending a music festival or what have you every once in a while. One person might work all day solo as a writer, so come happy hour, he's the life of the party. I knew quite a few of those guys in Los Angeles. Another might be a teacher, coach, massage therapist, hairdresser. These guys spend a lot of one-on-one with people all day, every day. And then they subsequently often need more downtime to kind of rest and recover. They don't ultimately choose during their social life to be in charge of organization, or they just don't want to have to be constantly talking and directing, because that's basically what they're doing all day, every day. So they just need a break from that. These are rough examples of keeping it balanced, but I think you get the drift. We all know the person who, for example, is very outgoing, overachieving, in charge, but they also can't say no, and they also need to control everything all of the time. So when we start dipping more into the psychology behind why we do the things that we do, we'll go deeper into these examples of being more out of balance. So community is huge, and finding a well-balanced social life is too. Find your tribe, edit your social life with copious discernment. There's that saying about the 5 people you surround yourself with most are a reflection of yourself, right? Just dropping that little tidbit. Consider that. And, as usual on this channel, there's no one size fits all. We must all find what works for us and be equally aware and supportive of what works best for those around us. This will all ebb and flow through life depending on whether we're experiencing the deepest of blows or the highest of highs. We all deserve that much for ourselves, and we deserve to notice that much for others because they deserve it too. So please do reach out with any further questions on all of this. This was kind of a longer all over the place, deeper analysis, but social life and community is a huge topic. So I just kind of wanted to touch on some examples of things being out of balance so that we can kind of check ourselves. I appreciate your being here. Thank you. Travel well. And I hope to commune with you once we're all allowed to come together again and celebrate. If you've received support here, please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel to better support anyone else in need at this time.